April 1st, 1984. When the news broke that Marvin Gaye was killed, many people thought it was a cruel April Fool's joke. But this wasn't a prank. The Prince of Soul was really gone, killed by his own father in their Los Angeles home. Here's the twist that makes this story even more heartbreaking. Marvin was killed with the gun he'd given his father as a Christmas present just 3 months earlier, on Christmas Day 1983. He thought he was protecting his family. Instead, that gun took his life. According to his brother Frankie, Marvin's final words were heartbreaking. "I got what I wanted. I couldn't do it myself, so I made him do it." 3 children lost their father that day. Marvin III was 18. Nona was just 9 years old. Little Frankie was only 8. Their world had just collapsed. Their famous father was gone forever. But what happened next? How did these 3 kids handle losing their dad in such a shocking way? The answer might surprise you. Instead of letting tragedy define them, they did something incredible. They turned their pain into purpose, their loss into legacy. Their story isn't what most people expect from Marvin Gaye's children. And trust me, it's not what you'd expect. Let's start with Marvin III, the eldest. Now, here's something most people don't know. Marvin III wasn't actually Marvin's biological son. He was adopted when he was just a baby. His birth mother was Denise Gordy, Anna's niece. Anna was Marvin's first wife and Berry Gordy's sister. It was a family decision to give the boy a loving home. When Marvin died, 18-year-old Marvin III suddenly became person in charge of his father's music and money. That's a lot of pressure for anyone. You're barely an adult. You just lost your dad. And now you're responsible for protecting his entire musical legacy. And boy did he step up. In 2013, nearly 30 years after his father's death, Marvin III made headlines. He led the family in a lawsuit that would change music history forever. The case: Robin Thicke and Pharrell Williams had created Blurred Lines, one of the biggest hits of the decade. But the Gaye family said it sounded way too much like Marvin's 1977 song Got to Give It Up. Marvin III wasn't doing this for money. As he told Entertainment Tonight, "I just wanted to see my father get credit for his work." The case went to court. And guess what? They won. The jury awarded the family $7.3 million, later reduced to $5.3 million. It was one of the biggest music legal wins in history. But Marvin III's story isn't just about legal battles. In the 2010s, he faced a serious health crisis. He had diabetes and needed a kidney transplant badly. 7 potential donors weren't matches. Things looked hopeless. Then something amazing happened. A man named Rick Green was watching Entertainment Tonight and saw Marvin III's plea for help. Rick didn't know the family personally, but he was moved by the story. He got tested, and he was a perfect match. In May 2014, Rick Green gave Marvin III one of his kidneys, saving his life. Marvin III married Wendy Gaye in 2010, and even released a dance music song called Can't Take My Eyes Off You in 2013. Though their marriage ended in divorce in 2024, Marvin III continues his work protecting his father's memory. He's got 2 sons from a previous relationship, Marvin III and Dylan, keeping the family name going strong. Not much longer would you be mine. Now let's talk about Nona. Remember, she was only 9 when her father died. She barely got to know him as a person. As she told Entertainment Tonight in the 90s, "I didn't understand the work. I was too young. When I got older and started listening to it, it made me cry. Once I got old enough to understand." But instead of being bitter, Nona decided to honor her father through her own talents. And wow, did she have talent. At just 18 years old, Nona released her debut album, Love for the Future, with Atlantic Records. The album featured songs like I'm Overjoyed and The Things That We All Do for Love. She wasn't trying to copy her father's style. She was finding her own voice. In 1995, she released something special called Inner City Blues. This wasn't just another album. It was her way of redoing her father's songs and making sure people remembered him. And get this, she got some of the biggest names in music to help her. Madonna, Stevie Wonder, and Bono all contributed to the project. Nona also had a fascinating relationship with music legend Prince. They didn't just work together, they actually dated for a while. Together they recorded 4 songs before eventually going their separate ways. But working with Prince taught her a lot about music and artistry. Then Nona surprised everyone by moving into acting, and she didn't just take small parts. She landed major roles in big Hollywood movies. She played Z in 2 of the Matrix movies. You know, the tough rebel fighter, helping Neo save the world. She was also in Ali, the Muhammad Ali biopic, and Crash, which won the Academy Award for Best Picture. In her personal life, Nona became a mother. Her son is named Nolan Pence. Notice that middle name. Pence was her grandfather's middle name, Marvin Pence Gaye. Even in naming her child, she kept the family legacy alive. As she once said, "It just makes me really happy that people still love him as much as they always have. More, I think, now that he's gone." The youngest of the 3 is Frankie Christian Gaye. He was born on November 16, 1975. And here's a sweet detail. He was named after his father's brother Frankie Gaye, who was also a musician. At just 8 years old when his father died, Frankie made a different choice than his siblings. While Marvin III fought legal battles and Nona conquered Hollywood, Frankie chose to stay out of the spotlight. He leads a private life, away from cameras and interviews. But don't think that means he doesn't care about his honoring their dad. In 2013, when the Blurred Lines lawsuit was happening, all 3 children came together to write a powerful joint letter. They said, "We will celebrate what would have been our dad's 76th birthday next month. And though we miss him every day, it is through his music that we find our compass and our paths moving forward. We are his children, but we too are his fans, and we hold his music dear." That letter shows something beautiful. Even though Frankie chose privacy, he stands united with his siblings when it comes to protecting their father's memory. Sometimes the strongest support comes from behind the scene. The Blurred Lines case wasn't just about money. It was about something much bigger. For decades, artists had been borrowing heavily from older songs without giving proper credit. The Gaye family's victory set a new standard for protecting musical creativity. Here's what happened. Robin Thicke and Pharrell Williams created one of the biggest hits of 2013. It was #1 on the charts, playing everywhere. But when the Gaye family heard it, they knew their father's work was being used without permission. The case went to court, and it wasn't easy. Music experts debated whether the songs were really that similar. But in the end, the jury agreed with the Gaye family. This victory didn't just protect Marvin's music, it helped protect all artists from having their work stolen. Today, Marvin Gaye's estate is managed by Geffen Management Group, and his legacy is protected through Creative Rights Group. Both are founded by talent manager Jeremy Geffen. The children made sure their father's music would be properly managed for generations to come. But their impact goes beyond legal victories. Through their work, Marvin's influence on modern music continues. Artists like Kendrick Lamar, Beyoncé, and countless others still draw inspiration from albums like What's Going On. The children made sure that inspiration gets proper credit. So what really happened to Marvin Gaye's 3 children? They did something remarkable. They took the worst day of their lives, April 1st, 1984, and transformed it into a lifetime of purpose. Marvin III became the family's legal guardian, fighting to protect their father's legacy and winning historic victories. Nona became a star in her own right, carrying her father's artistic spirit into music and movies. Frankie chose a quieter path, but remained a crucial part of the family's united front. Together, they proved that Marvin's greatest gift wasn't just his music. It was the strength, creativity, and determination he passed to his children. Their father once sang, "What's going on? a song about healing the world through love and understanding. His children have spent their lives showing us exactly what's going on. They're keeping the songs alive, the legacy strong, and the love flowing. The Prince of Soul left us with incredible songs like Sexual Healing, Let's Get It On, and I Heard It Through the Grapevine. But maybe his greatest compositions weren't his songs at all. Maybe they were his children, still touching hearts around the world, still healing hearts with their father's spirit. If this story touched you, take a moment to listen to some of Marvin Gaye's music today. Remember not just the artist, but the family that fought to preserve his gift for all of us. And don't forget to subscribe for more untold stories about the people behind the music we love. The beat goes on, and so does the legacy.